Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news, and it's Erik ten Hag's press conference news as Marcus Rashford's injury is confirmed to be as it's bad. Maybe not as bad as it could have been, but it's bad. Erik ten Hag has confirmed that. Also, Luke Shaw's still out injured as well. Spoke about Anthony Martial, spoke about Anthony, spoke about Sabitzer. De Gea was talking as well. Lots to get into on this press conference. Absolutely loads. And Harry Maguire's definitely broken a record. Another question about Harry Maguire in a press conference, which means he's had the most questions asked about him this season. He's got more questions in the press conference than he's had appearances for Man United. It's incredible, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. We're going to start off talking about not Anthony Martial, about Marcus Rashford. So the injury news has come through. I predicted this morning, didn't I? I said I bet there'll be an article just before the press conference, and there was. So Marcus Rashford will miss the Sevilla game and the next few games. Erik ten Hag has spoken about that, but I suppose the key thing that we're interested in is just how much of a setback is it for Marcus Rashford. Ten Hag had this to say: it's a setback, and he is disappointed, but he's not totally broken because he will return quickly. He started his rehab, and that helps to get back soon. So look, I mean, it's devastating for any footballer to be out injured, especially one who's had such a good season and is such an important, integral part in an important time in the season. We expect that Rashford will be back in May. We're looking at between 3 and 6 weeks for him to be out. The important thing is not to rush back on this, but the fact that he's on this rehab already is quite good. He said it'll be a few games, Rashford. Ten Hag said about Rashford, it'll be a few games. So that's the statement. I can't give more details on it because we don't know. We'll have to see how it develops. So look, I think it's just very much as many of us suspected and predicted on this. It's going to be one that we just got to wait and see how it pans out. Really, you were completely wrong about Rashford, says Thomas James. I don't know what to say about that. I said it would be between 3 and 5 weeks. It's between 3 and 5 weeks. Keep smashing it, Mark, says Rob Howe. It felt like a super chat that he'd been building up all day. You were completely wrong about Rashford. I don't even think he's still here. I think he typed it, slammed his laptop down, and went out to get a pot noodle. I don't know about that one. Very rarely do I get caught out speechless, but I wasn't completely wrong. I said between 3 and 5 weeks. I can't speak. Adam asked about Maguire. I didn't listen to the press conference. I've just got all the notes. What's going on? What? Don't wind me up about that. I didn't listen to it. I've just got all the notes from it. Adam asked about Harry Maguire. I can't speak. What? I can't bloody speak. What? The bloody hell? I'm seriously, I've got a list of questions that I said we could ask Ten Hag, right? Let me just tell you. It's just confirmed it me. I asked him if Maguire might keep his place or he'll rotate again. What? What? Can't believe it. I can't believe it. What? You get a question with Erik ten Hag and you ask a question about Maguire? Sack Adam, says the chat. What? I can't speak. I can't believe it. I've just mocked it and it's one of us who've done it. Right. I said this morning, he says, have you got any ideas for questions if I get one? I said, this is what we could have asked. Sale process delayed by another few weeks. Surely that uncertainty has an impact on the amount of players you can sign, Eric. Question 2. City are looking like they're candidates for the treble again. It's so important that United stop it. Is the FA Cup now the priority, Eric? With a smile on your face, bit of a joke. Third question. Sabitzer. Bruno, Ericsson and Casemiro back now. What does Sabitzer have to do to earn a thing in the morning? Earn a new deal? Adam went with, does Maguire keep his place or will he rotate again? He could have asked me that. You could have asked me that, Adam. No, he doesn't keep his place because it's Moran and Martinez. I can't believe it. Well, this is live content. I can't speak. No, fair play. I love Adam, but he's had a clanger there. He's had an absolute clanger there. Yeah. We go again. Yeah. It's a wasted question. It is. I've got to be honest. If you've got a question with Ten Hag, you don't ask him, will Maguire keep his place? That's like saying, are you planning on going for a piss after a 5 pints of water? You know, he's going to go for a piss. Like, oh, I don't know. Anyway, we move on. But the thing is, I've just mocked another question about Maguire, and it's come from the United stand. I mean, it's comic. It's comedy. I've tweeted about it as well. I saw there was a question about Maguire on the Twitter tweet, on our Twitter feed. And I literally tweeted straight away, why is somebody asking a question about Maguire again? And we did it. Oh, Adam broke the Maguire record, says Robert McCormack. Yeah, there was no need for it. Oh, dear. Anyway, let's get back on with the show. Yeah, okay, we're going to move on with the show. Lots to talk about. Anyway, the Marcus Rashford injury, he'll be out between 3 and 6 weeks. What has to happen with Rashford now is because of the nature of the injury in the groin and the muscle problem, it's all about, recovery. It's got to fit, it's got to mend. If you think about an elastic band, and if it's got a cut in it, the more you stretch it, it's just going to keep breaking. You need to fix it. It needs to be completely fixed. So it's about how long that takes with Marcus Rashford. So we'll see. But there's a lot of games. Obviously, he's going to miss. Probably not going to be back until early May at the start, at the earliest. A couple of other injury updates. He said both not available in relation to Luke Shaw and Garnacho. It's pretty much rumoured that Garnacho will be back by the end of the month. In the next 2 or 3 weeks, apparently Garnacho's going to be back. So get ready for that. But Luke Shaw, shorter notice on Luke Shaw. He should be back soon. We don't really need Luke Shaw massively back for the next 2 games. Home at against Sevilla, I think we'll be okay. I'm going to do the preview tonight, actually. Away to Forest, I think Malacia is fine for those games. So we need Luke Shaw back. And again, you don't want to be taking risks on someone like Luke Shaw. So let's get him back fully fit. On Anthony Martial, he basically said that Anthony Martial was fit enough to start against Everton, but he was happy with the front 3 from the Brentford game, so he didn't change it. But we don't have to force things. We are careful. The front line against Everton worked really well. I think he's ready to start now, and we could have done it against Everton. The advantage was we could bring Martial back slowly, giving him minutes, but I think already against Everton he was ready to start the game. And he said that, look, the time he needs, when he's in our team, we play our best football and we have our best results. I defend him because I point to the stats and I see how he contributes. I love that from Ten Hag because I'm a big fan of Martial, and I think Martial has going to take on a really, really important role at United now, isn't he? I don't think there's anybody who can doubt how important Anthony Martial is to the team now. And the alternative is Weghorst. So I agree with that Sancho, Martial and Anthony should be the front 3. And I'm really excited to see what can happen there. But Eva says, what's the update on Rashi? 3 to 5 weeks. But look, Martial's going to be really important to us now. And I love the fact that Ten Hag always points out that we're a better team with him. And he points to the stats and the evidence on that. I think anybody who doesn't realise that we're a better team with Martial in it hasn't watched United this season. Now, admittedly, we haven't seen Martial play much, but he's the only one who can play the number 9 role. Like, Weghorst can't play that role. He's too slow. Rashford can't play that role. He's a winger. Martial's the only one who can play that number 9 role. He knows how to hold the ball up. He knows how to link the play. He knows how to make unselfish runs. And, Martial's massively important to us, but as we all know with Martial, we can wax lyrical about how important he is, But if he can't stay fit, he can't stay fit. He spoke about the midfield and he says, I think the balance in the midfield was good with Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno. Casemiro is the balance player, the lineup player. Eriksen can support him, but also go to the final part of the game and create chances with key passes. Well, I think we already know that our best midfield three is what it is. On Eriksen, he said he's a really important player, and I think he had 7 or 8 assists in the league, which tells the story. I spoke about that over the last few weeks, haven't I? I said that the two things that we've really missed without Eriksen that he brings to the team, he's very good on the transition. He's very good at taking the ball off the back four and being an option, as is Casemiro. But we create better chances with Eriksen in the team, and that's obviously backed up by the amount of assists he's had. But he's not, he's not always the first assist or the second assist, whatever. We create better chances with Eriksen in the team. There's no doubt about that. He also said, so David De Gea had a bit of a chat as well. He said, on the criticism, when I keep a clean sheet, that means the team and I did a good job. The criticism's always there, but you cannot please everyone. I always try my best and we're doing a great job together. And he said he was very proud to break Peter Schmeichel's record at the club. Hopefully he's going to sign a new contract soon. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. There it is. Here's the question of the day. Will Harry Maguire keep his place in the team? From Adam on the United Stand. An exclusive one. Probably the question of the day. He said on Saturday, this is what Ten Hag said about Maguire. We saw on Saturday how good he is. He's really doing well and he's always in contention. I'm happy with how my team is defending. We defend with 11 and we have a great goalkeeper who gives us so many clean sheets. So Ten Hag there publicly backing his goalkeeper. I mean, on a serious note, some people were very happy with Maguire's performance on Saturday. In fact, I think a lot of people were. I think he made 3 big mistakes that could have cost us a goal, but ultimately we didn't. So well done. If anybody thinks he should keep his place on tomorrow night, football's not for you. If Varane and Martinez are fit, why would you even consider playing Harry Maguire? I don't care whether you're Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire. I don't care. Like the reality is, there is absolutely it would be a disgrace if Maguire started tomorrow or Lindelof started tomorrow. It's Martinez and Varane. They're on a different level. I would say this: if you want to know the difference between Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof and Martinez and Varane, imagine yourself, it's a sunny day on the French Riviera. You're sat there in a very nice restaurant with very nice people, with a view over a beautiful harbour, drinking a glass of wine and really nice music. This is peak life. This is Martinez and Varane. Now picture yourself walking down a less desirable area somewhere in England. It's not even that sunny, it's just the sun's coming out occasionally between the clouds. And what's that you can hear in the distance? Oh yeah, it's 3 lions in a shirt, pumping out really loud. And you approach that house, and oh yeah, they've all got their tops off in their front garden, partying, drinking Carling. That's Maguire and Lindelof. If you want a difference in an analogy, picture the scene with Martinez and Varane in the French Riviera, and then picture the scene with Lindelof and Maguire in your front garden listening to Chumbawamba or 3 Lions on a Shirt, and you are drinking Carling in your vest. Mojo says, stop over-egging the pudding. Glazers delaying the sale isn't the end of the world. I don't mind a bad summer if it means they sell. Mojo, you're in the massive priority, and you obviously win the award for Prat of the Day. You've just rescued Adam. Well done, Mojo. You've just rescued Adam from Prat of the Day. Hi, Mark. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone in the chat is good as well, says Eric. Nice bit of positivity there. Let's continue with the questioning anyway. On Sabitzer, Ten Hag said this. He's doing fantastic. He's adjusted really well to Manchester United and the Premier League. He's a good person and he suits the dressing room well. He's an intelligent player and we're happy with his role at this moment. I do wonder about Sabitzer. And in fact, this was a question I asked Adam to ask if he was struggling for a question, which he clearly wasn't because he had that Maguire one in his head. I did say, like, it'd be interesting to know what Sabitzer has to do to get a deal in the summer. Because, of course, if you ask a question about Sabitzer, Ten Hag's going to say he's doing a good job, we're really happy with him, he's settling in. The more important question is, what does he have to do to get a contract in the summer? Because Ten Hag would answer that. You don't get a contract in the summer just because you're an intelligent lad with a nice smile who's settled in quite well and we're really pleased with him. What What does he do to get a new contract? Because I'm going to be blunt here. He doesn't get a new contract because he's a bench player. Like, I don't want to sign Sabitzer if he's going to sit on the bench for the next few weeks as 4th or 5th choice midfielder. We've already got McTominay and Fred to do that. We need a midfielder that kicks Eriksen out of the team, or Bruno out of the team, or Casemiro out of the team. We don't need to sign a 25, 30 million pound player who can't kick them out of the team. So for me, I'm pleased with Sabitzer as well. But over the next few weeks, he's got to be getting in the team. He's got to be benching one of those 3 midfielders. Otherwise, there's no point in buying him. Because Man City don't do that. Man City don't loan in Sabitzer and have him on the bench behind Rodri, Gundogan and De Bruyne and then spend 30 million quid on him. They'll go and buy Bellingham to force one of those 3 out of the team. And that's what we've got to do, because that's who you're up against. That's what you're trying to do. So I like Sabitzer. Everyone knows I like Sabitzer. I'm a big fan of his. But we absolutely should not be spending £30 million on him if he can't get in the team in the next few weeks. And there seems to be people in the fan base who thinks we should get him. Oh, 25 million, it's nothing. Why? What is the point in buying a player that we're going to learn over the next few weeks isn't as good as Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno? We need to buy players. That's why I want Kim Min-jae, because if we get Kim Min-jae, Varane might get benched. If you buy De Jong, Eriksen's probably getting benched. That's what you need to do. You've got to buy players that are better than what you've got. And, you know, Calvin Phillips has been mentioned by City, but he doesn't pick him. You know, they can afford to buy Calvin Phillips, but that's not normally what Pep does, is it? If you look at over the previous years, I admit he's done that now, but that's normally not what he's done. I suppose they're in a position now where they can spend £60 million just to have a homegrown player who sits on the bench. I mean, that's basically what they've done. It's just been bought for his passport, hasn't he? In fact, you could almost, with Calvin Phillips, Pep could almost say to him, take the weekend off, you know, go and have a holiday in Ibiza with the family. In fact, you can go anywhere as long as it's in the UK. Why can't I go to Ibiza, Pep? Because I need your passport. I just want to put your passport on the bench. I don't need you. It's just your British passport for the homegrown rule. So you can go and have a weekend at the Lake District. Just leave me a passport and I'll put it on the bench. That's what they bought him for, let's be honest. But yeah, look, Sabitzer, Ten Hag spoke positively about him. Ultimately, I think we've got to be cruel to be kind here. He's got to get in the first team in the next few weeks. And if he doesn't, why buy him? Why buy him? King says you still need a squad. Mate, I'm sorry about this. I'm calling that out. What are you talking about? We still need a squad. You need a quality squad. You don't just buy Sabitzer and Weghorst because it makes you have a squad. Burnley have got a squad. Southampton have got a squad. It's about the quality of the squad. And Man United 100% need to improve the quality in that squad. He said, we want to play dynamic and surprise opponents, make it difficult to read our game. We defend with 11 and attack with 11, so we work on that every day and every game. We have to improve every game. He said, David De Gea on the season so far, we're playing really good football. We've already won the cup, won one cup, and we're all enjoying it. The dressing room is close together, and the players are giving their all in training and games. And he says, we're still in 3 competitions, and we're heading in the right way. And then Erik Ten Hag said on Anthony, of course we expect frontline players to be a threat, but also have an effect in the final third. He has to work on that, but he's a young player. He scored in big games, and if you can do it in such games, you can do it in Premier League games. We have to win games together, and that is my experience with him. He's a fighter. He likes a challenge. When he plays, the team is winning, and he's still a very young player. He can kill opponents. Look, it's nice for Ten Hag to sort of, not that he has to, but it's nice for him to come out and say positive things about Anthony, because I think that there is some unfair criticism of Anthony, certainly in the UK media scene. When you look at his actual stats, and stats don't tell you the story, I think Anthony is open to criticism. I think he is. But when you look at his stats, they're very good. He scored quite a few goals. But I think Ten Hag has nailed it there. Anthony is a young player. I'm not necessarily saying a young player in age, although he is, but he's also a young Premier League player in the fact that this is his first season in the Premier League. Whatever you think about the Eredivisie, it's very different to playing in the Premier League, which is the biggest league in the world, and it requires consistency. You imagine Anthony last season playing for Ajax. All right, you're playing PSV, it's a big game. Feyenoord, it's a big game, but there's probably 10 games a season where you can coast. You can't coast in the Premier League. Every single game you've got to be at it. I think Sancho's probably suffered from this because the same in the Bundesliga. There's probably games where you can coast a little bit. It's about that intensity. It's about that consistency, and that's what Ten Hag's talking about. It's that development and understanding that you've got to contribute more every game, more. Tusha says, "Don't you think Sabitzer would be an upgrade on Rashford? He can't be our first choice, but can he be our first choice backup midfielder?" No, Tusha, I disagree because I think you've got Bruno, Eriksen, Casemiro. I don't want Sabitzer to be the midfield signing. I want it to be De Jong. I want it to be Bellingham. I want it to be Manu Kone. I want it to be Alexis McAllister. That's the quality of fourth choice midfielder I want. The sort of fourth choice midfielder who's not fourth choice. The sort of fourth choice midfielder that you could rest Casemiro against Arsenal and be happy to play Casido or whatever. That we need quality. I don't want to. I think Sir Alex Ferguson said this years ago. It might have been Ferguson, it might have been Wenger, it might have been Mourinho, but I remember the line, and it was something like this. When you're buying players, you should never buy bench players. You should buy players that you think are good enough to play for your first team. And if they end up being bench players, then your bench is strengthened. But when you're signing players, they should be good enough to go into your first team. If you're buying players for your bench, they're never good enough for your first team. And what that means is, United, if they're buying a midfielder, you don't go and get Tielemans because he'd be a good bench player. You go and get Casido because he's good enough to play for your first team. Let them sort it out in training. And also you're going to get loss of form, injuries, suspension. You don't buy bench players. They may end up being that, and that's my concern. Mark, as my milestone chat, wondering what your thoughts are on Maguire keeping his spot, or do you think Erik Ten Hag should rotate? We really love Adam, says Clay. I love Adam, but we all have a stinker. Look, when I look at who United should sign in the midfield, best midfielder you can sign. Striker, we're going to do that, aren't we? If Anthony Martial's fit, Anthony Martial starts. But we're not saying let's go and buy Weghorst because he's a good bench player. We want Harry Kane. We want Osimhen. We're doing it up front. Now, the fact that Martial's injury prone means that people think it's not such a big deal. But imagine if Martial suddenly starts playing fit. You're still going to want Osimhen or Kane, aren't you? Because you want... Let's see who's on the bench. Maybe if we buy Kane and Martial stays fit, Kane's on the bench next year. But maybe not. That's what you need to do. Scott says 4 midfielders isn't a squad. Get rid of McTominay and then we have Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno starting with a new signing coming in and Fred and Sabitzer as backup. Well, I don't really care how you do it. And look, I'm not writing Sabitzer off. What I'm saying is he should not be our midfield signing if he can't get in the first team over the next few weeks, because Ten Hag is literally buying a bench player then. If over the next few weeks we play some big games and Sabitzer starts, then there's an opportunity to buy him. But if we're going to just stick him on the bench, why bother buying a bench player? It doesn't make any sense. And I think Sabitzer's got an opportunity. I just think he's got to grab that opportunity over the next few things. Do you think Maguire and Adam go out for meals together or follow each other on Instagram? I don't know. But don't anybody ever say that we're not a fair channel. We'll give everybody a go. We'll even ask questions about Maguire. Adam is the imposter. Who plays that anymore? Who plays that? I don't know. Anyway, fantastic. Absolutely enjoyed that today. Don't forget tonight, we're not live at 8 o'clock because I'm doing Real Madrid against Chelsea on That's Football. Looking forward to that. But we are live at 7 o'clock tonight with all the latest Manchester United news. If nothing breaks, it'll just be a preview. But if there's anything new, we'll discuss that as well. Thanks everyone for watching. Interesting show. Take care. I'm going to go and speak to Adam. And I'll speak to you all in a bit. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Have a good day. Don't have a great day. Do have a great day. Yeah. Okay. See you. Bye. Bye.